Hi, this is Matt Yedler, Sherlock Home Inspection. Phone number is 971-212-7481. Website address is yourinspectionneeds.com. Today's date is Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. The address for inspecting today is 4328 Southeast 45th Avenue, Portland, Oregon, 97206. We are about to perform a video inspection of the property's main sewer line through the basement cleanout. The equipment being used today is the Rigid Sea Snake. This is one of the best sewer cameras in the market today. Before we begin this video inspection, as being noted, some H sewer placement of clay, concrete, cast iron, asbestos, and Ortberg may be in good working order. I may never have had a clogged or sewer backup before. However, due to real estate transactions, attorneys, and lawsuits, Sherlock Home Inspection most recommend the following to meet the current codes. All sewer pipes should be watertight, made of cast iron ABS 3034 or HDPE pipe with all appropriate fittings and couplers. All sewer pipes should be free from breaks, offsets, separations, tree roots, bellies, and party sewers. Sherlock Home Inspections recommends to place in any sewer pipe does not meet these specifications. Here we go. We started in cast iron piping. Any cast iron piping in the home should be considered a deferred cost item. Even if it is working, you'll want to keep an eye on things, and then of course go into this knowing that at some point any cast iron or galvanized piping in any of the plumbing should be considered a deferred cost item. It looks like we get some good news. We're not in cast iron for very long, and then it goes to ABS plastic piping. We have a little bit of a belly in the line there. So fortunately, it looks like the sewer piping has been nicely improved or updated, modernized. There is a sag in the line, so let's see. With the water running, camera head goes underwater at about 32 feet. We'll come out of it at about 36 and a half. So about a 4.5 foot water belly. We'll run a test on it once we reach the lateral. We'll run a test to see how the piping reacts with the water off. Looks like we have another sag in the line here to the front yard. And again, the good news is it's been modernized, but we'll want to run some tests on it and see how that area reacts with the water off. We're going to transition to 3034 PVC piping, and of course we have a sag in the line there too, so not the greatest pitch in several of the areas. And then we transition again. Once we hit the sidewalk area, we hit terracotta clay tile piping. And as you can see, there's root intrusion here. This is typically, I believe that the reason this is still terracotta clay tile is because this has been, would be considered Portland City responsibility, but there's some roots coming in the terracotta clay tile pipe. If you look right at the bottom of the screen, you can see some roots coming in there. There's some more. And I would assume that this is the public sewer here. So I'm going to run some tests on the sewer pipe. I'm going to turn off the water, drain everything out, look at the pipe one more time in reverse. I'm going to pause video too while I'm waiting. Okay, we have turned off the water. We've drained everything out. There'll still be some residual stuff making its way through, but this should give us a pretty good idea, especially when we get back towards the areas that were the areas in question. And again, so it's terracotta clay tile in the roadway. In most cases, Portland area is the Portland City Public Sewer has just about everybody on calendar to replace all of this stuff with modern plastic piping. So maybe not a bad idea to inquire with the city of Portland and see if and when this is going to be updated. Like I said, all the areas that it looks like that would be considered like a responsibility of a homeowner has been improved or modernized. but this is not in the greatest condition. There you can see some roots there. So at the joints or the junctions in the piping, there's some root penetration. It's pretty scraggly, ineffectual little guys, but they're definitely probably a little bit of pipe separation and then some root penetration there. Definitely looks like we could be separated a little bit towards the bottom there. But I think that through the front yard, the area that would be considered homeowner responsibility was replaced with a drain repair specialist has already updated or modernized the stuff through the front yard. You can see the cut in the slab of the basement too, where someone has replaced the sewer piping under part of the slab. So here's, like I said, I think this is where responsibility of the owner lies. And again, before closing, it's not a bad idea to get all this information. But like I said, good news is plastic piping through the front yard for the most part has been modernized. You know, there's some areas that are a little bit flat. This is one of those areas. And I wanted to see with the water off, see how it goes ahead and drains on out. So let's see. So again, there's a sag in the line here. Camera head goes underwater, so there's a little bit of a belly in the front yard, right around the sidewalk area. Pretty minor, all things considered, and this is a nice big plastic pipe, so probably no blockage or backup would happen here, but it is a little bit of a sag or a belly in the line. So that was one of the concerns. So I'd recommend passing the video and the report on to a drain repair specialist to make suggestions here. If it's determined that no repairs are currently deemed necessary, then of course you'd want to have a sewer scope every 2 to 3 years, keeping an eye on this. And of course, if conditions ever worsen, some repairs would be required. So this was another area where we were a little bit flat, and that looks like it's actually done pretty good. So again, the water has been turned off. This one, the camera head went underwater the first time through, but with the water turned off, the vast majority of everything through this area did drain out. So that improved. So that was one of the other concerns. So that doesn't look too bad. The majority of the pipe has a nice downhill pitch. You can see this is kind of what we're hoping for, start to finish. You turn off the water and everything drains right on out. Here was another one. And that looks like for the most part that improved pretty well too. So there's only, with the water off, there's only one area right by the sidewalk where the camera head still goes underwater. For the most part, this good portion of this drained out. So definitely with the water off, things have improved. Again, I think just strictly as a precaution, before closing, I'd take the video and the report, pass it on to a drain repair specialist, someone who specializes in sewer line repair or replacement, and see if they think that anything is deemed necessary to dig up and repair now, or this is just an area to keep an eye on. There's still going to be some residual water in there. It is plastic piping, which is not the worst thing in the world. There isn't a bunch of thick, sludgy buildup, which means that ultimately it's not really causing any problems. There must be at least the possibility of an exterior clean out there. So at this point, I would just say that the sewer pipe needs a second opinion. So I'd recommend passing the video and the report on to a drain repair specialist to make suggestions here. Is this something that's deemed necessary to repair now? Like I said, it doesn't appear to be causing any issues. There are 3 areas, and they're very, very minor, but there's 3 areas where there's a little bit of a sag in the line. The last one, the camera head still goes underwater for the most part. The other 2, a good portion of the water that was there with the water running through the sewer pipe has drained out. There's just some residual stuff hanging on. So overall pretty minor, but there are three spots that have a little bit of a sag, like the sewer pipe wasn't supported real well or sloped or pitched real well in that area. So pass the video and the report on to a drain repair specialist to see if he deems any necessary repairs now. If not, then this is definitely a pipe you'd want to have a sewer scope performed every 2 to 3 years, keeping an eye on things, and of course if conditions ever worsen, then some repairs could be required in the future.